Hello people, welcome to this auspicious harvest event. It is autumnal equinox. So everybody, the harvest moon is full and bright and beautiful, and we love Iowa, and so we have these beautiful red barns, and may the owl of wisdom up there in the attic in that barn shine the light of the moon in all good ways upon you and yours and your kith and kin, your friends, family, and your community, wherever you're at. May there be a full harvest this season. As the seasonal wheel is in spin, it's turning. It's the autumn equinox, which means the sun stands still. It's equal night and equal day. That's 12 hours of sunlight and 12 hours of night. So we're about ready to head into the night portion for the next, till next March 20th. That's about 6 months from now. So it's an invitation to a deeper dance, to climb within with loved ones and friends as we prepare to go inside for the next 6 months. It's a healthy thing, and it brings us within. We've been outside in the sun and so forth. People are traveling here, there, thither, and yon across this beautiful, beloved planet, continent, and state. And so maybe wherever you've been, dear friend, wherever you've been on your journeys, or if you've just been in your backyard, I hope you've had a wonderful summer activities of some celebration, some friendship, some good community. Our people are traveling even now, so I'll dedicate this out to a few people on the great trek across the harvest moon. You can see them flying with the golden aura of the light of the moon. And so people would say when there's a full moon, that is the left eye of God, right? So that's a new one. Let's appreciate that. The full moon, if we look at it, is the left eye of God. So the balance of left and right, night and day, light and darkness. So we're going into a deeper part, which is the ionosphere will start opening up. That's the great ion, which is a deeper part of our synchronistic alchemical signature in the alphabet of the runes, which is a deeper understanding. And so with the full moon, that is a symbol of water. So we'll cover a little of this as well as we go along. We'll see how this full moon journey, making around the cycle of the season, full circle, seasonal wheel shift cycle, takes us on this journey of the golden eternity of this hour. So, dear friend, always, along with all of us, our friends, whoever, the people we know, the stranger at the door, let us truly appreciate however we can, and we'll take a deep breath for that. Breathing in love, breathe out peace. Breathe 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 in love, breathe out peace. Today is the Planetary Peace Day, and we will cover some prayers for that. It's a meditation reflection on the reflecting pool of the full moon at whatever water that you love, a lake, a river, an ocean, a waterfall, whatever, an iceberg. Wherever you are with it, that you love the reflection of the full moon, we will take that in as we reflect on the Planetary Peace Day, and we reflect in these words: may peace prevail upon earth in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. May peace prevail upon earth, in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. And so for all the four corners of creation, the four corners of the great cycle of the great medicine wheel, may peace prevail upon earth, in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. And as we center in and spiral in this deepening understanding of planetary peace, we see a spiral, and we see it as a dance. So as this moon, this is spiral dance of the full moon of peace, the harvest moon of peace. It's time to bring in the harvest, dear friends, harvesting peace, not one another. We harvest peace in the heart of one another and interdependence of planetary understanding. May peace prevail upon earth in the rainbow hoops and the rainbow covenant of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. May we all live in peace at this moment in time, and may the joy of the journey within our own and around the planet and around the bend and around the corner in our own lives, in our villages' lives, our city, our hamlet, our community, whatever community that may be. It may be those in our physical reality community, or maybe our community that lives miles, if not hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, our spirit community. And however that lives as on earth as it is in heaven. So those who have traveled before this great red road, this road of life, our ancestors and our elders, this reflection is also for our ancestors. May peace prevail upon earth in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. And that is for the seventh generation yet to come. We're moving from the 7th Cavalry and Custer's Last Stand and the Battle of Little Bighorn and Leavenworth and Fort Hays out there and Fort Riley and Junction City and all the ways west. From the 7th Cavalry to the 7th generation yet to come. The Ark of the Covenant gently bends to ease us in justice, dear friend. The Ark of the Covenant of the universe gently bends to ease us in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, from the 7th Cavalry to the 7th generation yet to come. You can see the Ark of that covenant going on a shaft, an arrow shaft of time, 200 light years across. That's 200 light years across. That's 7 generations. That is from around 1816 to 2016. From here, 2016, clear out to the 7th generation yet to come, dear friend, which will be 2216. 200 years on the arrow, the arrow that's arcing through time, which is gently bending to ease us toward justice and peace on earth. That is the gentle arc of time, 200 years, the 7th generation yet to come. So when our ancestors were living in 1816, they may have just arrived on this continent, North America. They may have not even left Europe or Africa or Asia. They may not have even left yet. They may have not even dreamed of a land called America. And that is 1816. Most people were dreaming about America around 1850, 1848. So that would may even be only 160 years ago. That would be 170 maybe. Well, 200 years ago, very few people, but they were dreaming the dream even then, the seventh generation yet to come. So our ancestors, our great, 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 great grandparents who lived in 1816, we are the seventh generation in their vision bundle, in their vision quest, in their sacred bundle. We are the seventh arrow of the seventh generation yet to come. We are here today, dear friend. We are the seventh arrow of the seventh generation, the seventh sacrament, which is the seventh generation yet to come, which is 2016. And we are sending that arrow through time from our quiver. We're sending it as Sagittarius, through the arrow of time. We're sending it out across the universe, unknown, incognita, territory incognita, 7 generations out into the year 2216. For the 7th generation, we are preparing this planet for a peace on earth, which is, may the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black and white, may there be peace prevail upon earth in all of these different colors of the hoops of the rainbow of all the nations. That's a beautiful song. And so this song is sung for those who are out on the road. As I speak, today is the last day of summer. Today as the astronomical clock. Not necessarily whatsoever. We have plenty of summer left. But in the astronomical sign of things, not the astrological, just the astronomical, which is more reductionist, time-oriented, chronos, linear time. This is the last day of summer. So for all of those who are out on this day of summer, for my dear friend Kyle, who was out on Long Island Sound, sitting on the beach looking at the full moon, near the Atlantic Ocean in his own family backyard, in his own family beach house. Hallelujah to you, brother, from Notre Dame, from South Bend, from the Great Peace March, and from Cardinal Archbishop Romero, who edited that book. My heart song is out there with you on Long Island Sound on the beautiful beach, reflecting the full moon this evening. And for my friend who is out in Oakland, Professor Creekwater, Mark Creekwater, who walked from Scattergood in the heart of July here in Iowa, walked all the way across Iowa, walked all the way across Nebraska, clear out to Colorado, where he went up into the high Rockies with his brother and had a Rocky Mountain High with medical ganja with his brother on the birthday up there at Idaho Springs, and then continued walking through the high Rockies over to Utah, and then started cascading down into hitchhiking across the canyonlands of Utah into Nevada, where it's a no-go zone for anyone who's on foot for some reason. We need to open up Nevada and make it a safe passage for anyone who is hitchhiking or walking. But among the groups of people I've heard, it's like apartheid South Africa. People are very dangerous. People are getting shot. So let's put a peace vibe all around the territory of Nehweh Segovia, the Treaty of Ruby Valley. We won't even call it Nevada, but on the maps of the empire, Mercator, it's known as Nevada. So let's put a special light of love and peace there so that people can traverse freely and travel freely throughout that land. As it is now, people feel like they can't go through Nevada because it's too dangerous and people are getting killed and so forth. And that's just the people who are walking, who are homeless, who are nomadic, who are more in touch with the earth, which include the indigenous people. So for those in Nevada, we send a light to lighten up the law and lighten up the attitudes and lighten up a little light of loving kindness and compassion shining through the entire Ruby Valley of of Nevada, for the Shoshone, for the Mormon farmers, for the ranchers, for everyone who lives there and anyone who's traveling through. Let's have some peace and peace accords there, because this is International Peace Day. It's a perfect alignment of the universe at this time. Alaya Vijnana, storehouse. And so we're in alignment with a higher purpose here this day. So for Professor Creekwater then, who took a freight train on the Nevada border and reeled and rocked around curvy mountain curves around the size of steep 3,000 foot deep mountain down to canyons, straight down, spinning and rocking and rolling and creaking and rocking again around through the tunnels and through the mountain passes all around and back and forth and holding on for dear life. The real great peace marcher, Roots of the Red Road rocking, coming up over the Sierra Nevada, up over there, up over Truckee and Donner's Pass and down into the fertile loam of California and getting on at Stockton and making a way over to Oakland and calling from your friend's house whom you're house sitting for 3 or 4 weeks or days. Hey, a bi-coastal high heart song to you. And to Frederick, who's out there climbing the mountains up there in the Forest Service roads near Lake Tahoe, looking for the journey of that juicy berry that's just the last, that last wild plum, stalking the wild plum in that pendulum, swinging the hammock of the fixity of time across the universe with a cosmic third-eye smile of loving kindness. For those itinerant waifs on the road, those nomadic wanderers, keeping the scene of green with the light of the fire, the green fire of the heart, of the loving joy of the journey, and all those in between. Doctress Nutopia in Tucson with her beautiful light of love and evolution, to Lorelei, who is a master singer and violin, supreme orden, extraordinary nomad, creative artist, who love and rage from the heart song of the heartland, who is the vision of our time. And to all of those people out there all along the pipeline from Standing Rock, Sioux, to north of there to the Bakken Pipeline in North Dakota, to those in northwest Iowa and those in Boone, Iowa, the 30 people who got arrested a month ago, to the people of Sandusky, which is near southeast Iowa, right near the Mississippi River, where the diagonal pipeline line, proposed pipeline, is supposedly going to choke chain the Mississippi and turn it into a black snake by subverting and subducting the tectonic plate shift soil and destroying 8 to 10, 12 foot of fertile black Iowa farmland straight down and destroying tiles and making them unlevel so that they won't flow, the water won't flow off, and disrupting and attacking farmers and farmland and assaulting the earth itself with this crime against God. To those 44 people down there at Sandusky, Iowa, down on the southeast border where the Mississippi goes, where the Iowa touches the Mississippi River, our hats are off to you, and we're all in harmony and solidarity and support of what you're doing. And this is for the heart of the heartland, but not just the heartland. This is for the entire continent. This is where the water is life. This is where the land of two rivers, the Missouri and the Mississippi, are being severely threatened by this Dakota Access Bakken coal sludge bitumen, bitter memory for the seventh generation yet to come, and for all Iowans' futures, economically, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, for all different ways of ecosystems and bioregions of the law, which is land, air, and water. A direct rape, plunder, outrage of the law, land, air, and water, of the beautiful land of Iowa. So here's a call to all good Iowans, far and near and far, young and old, large and small, to come to the aid of your state of Iowa, which is not just a state of government, it's a state of mind, the beautiful land, to stop it, the beautiful black earth and the bountiful fields of Iowa from being raped, and the biopsychic harmony of this plane, this earth plane called Iowa, which is a higher purpose on a higher plane, to shut down that pipeline, which would drag it right down into the Bakken hellhole, and won't return. So this is your time for you to come to the aid of your state of mind. And so in order to do that, go to 3 websites. One is called boldiowa.com. boldiowa.com. There you will receive your marching orders, your walking instructions. And they are directly your marching orders. And then the second one is No Bakken, B-A-K-K-E-N, No Bakken, B-A-K-K-E-N.org, if not .com. No Bakken, B-A-K-K-E-N.org or .com. You'll find out. And the third one, which is up the road, is Sacred Stone Camp, which is .com. SacredStoneCamp.com. Those are the 2 in Iowa, and you can also look up some of the Catholic workers of Des Moines, the Des Moines Catholic workers, and Citizens for Community Improvement. So you can look up those 2 websites, Citizens for Community Improvement, CCI.org, or it could be CCI.iowa.org. But those are your marching orders right there. And what they're doing is, this Bold Iowa is your key one, boldiowa.com. And so there's this bold action teams, your direct action, 2 to 3 people will go to different sites that they select. No one knows, they're going to choose themselves on the pipeline to do direct action. And that's called bold action teams. They're called BATS, bold action teams. So these are BATS. The bats out of hell to shut down a pipeline out of hell. And once these bat teams of 2 to 3 go to different sites along that 378 mile length of that pipeline across Iowa, then those bats will form a swarm. And those bats out of hell are going to drag that pipeline right back into hell and keep it and put a boulder over it, which is Bold Iowa, and seal it for perpetuity. Seal it for all time, and keep it there. Keep it sealed. Keep Iowa. So if you've been watching Batman and you've seen Batman and Robin, well, Robin, now's the time for you to become Batman. And so you join the bold action teams and become one of the bats. And you become one of the bats, and then the bats with these 2 to 3 person teams will go and do direct action, and then you'll form a swarm, and you'll swarm and drag this pipeline back into the Bakken hell. Bakken. You'll drag this Bakken into hell. And that's the bat swarm back into the bat cave. And then you'll throw a standing rock seal in front of this thing for a stone that seals this Bakken hole for all time, in perpetuity, forever. And that will be a sign of the redemption song. And you yourself and all of Iowa, in this fertile land called the Black Earth, Iowa, there will be a resurrection. And this will be through our own regeneration through ourselves, through that arrow in time, through the 7th generation, which is 2216. That's the arrow of time, that you're doing this not for yourself, but for the 7th generation yet to come. So all you kids out there, all you adults, form your BAT teams, bold action teams, and go to Bold, Iowa, and join your team. Prepare to do direct action, shut this pipeline down, and become a member of the resurrection team of Iowa, regeneration of the black earth of Iowa, the beautiful, 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 beloved black earth of Iowa, from our ancestors to the 7th generation. And so you too can become a bat man or a bat woman, serving your higher good. Bold action team. Go to Bold, Iowa, and bolt this pipeline and pull it by and through it and away from its bolts and drag it down and shut it down. And that is on this day of balance, the last day of summer and the beginning of the autumn equinox. This is simply the earth in balance. We're doing this for the higher good of all sentient beings, which is again a bodhisattva path, which is for the four-legged, the two-legged, the winged ones, the finned ones, the cessation of suffering of all sentient beings. And that includes the future of the planet itself, and climate change and all that. It's all interconnected. It's all interdirected. And so you can see the different layers. Tribal treaty rights, farmers' rights, the planet's rights, the children of the 7th generation to have clean air, clean water. And that's the climate change itself. And you too can be a part of the change, dear friend. And what we're looking at here is becoming members of the planetary cleanup crew. The planetary cleanup crew. And your midwives in the planetary rebirthing, becoming midwives in the planetary rebirthing, and becoming members of the planetary cleanup crew through global, planetary, and local, thinking globally, acting locally with CPR, conservation, preservation, restoration. CPR for Iowa. Iowa CPR. Conservation, preservation, restoration. That means that's how we shut down this pipeline, and we see that water is life. Water is sacred. So we'll go into the water is life sacred. There's something I wrote that is going to be shared at this moment. And that is a piece that I wrote called Water is Life. Water is life. Water is essential to our commons. Water is essential to our communication. Water is essential to our community. Water is essential to our communion. As humans, as life forms, as pteropods, water is communitas, the essential element which communicates to all ages, eons, and dispensations. The essential elements which perpetuates the ages from one generation to another. It is the life force which congeals and generates the geology of ages. Then it regenerates. Out of the frozen tundra permafrost of ice ages, slowly it recedes into glaciers, then thawing drip by drip, drop by drop in glacial time, slowly, slowly, slowly through eons of time, carving out mountains, canyons, fjords. It comes cascading down through time to reveal out of the Alvord desert of the geologic time, to reveal the most magnificent sacred Saheli waterfall, which showers our life in auroras of our new life, in the rainbow hues of possibility, in our shining mountains, radiance, rainbow of redemption song, dear friend. This is forgiveness singing through these laughing waters, washing over us, washing our spirits clean. Water is life, water is renewal. This is washing away the past, the regrets, all of it, in a baptismal song of rebirthing ritual and immersion ceremony into aqua terra, in the waters of eternal life. Water is life. Water is life, standing its ground at Standing Rock. Water is life, standing its ground at Sandusky, Iowa. Water is life, standing its ground in Boone, Iowa. Water is life, standing its ground at Standing Rock. In the watercourse Tao Heshke Hokahewe, it's a great day to die when the craziest of the crazies could not be subdued by the greed of the white man or any other color of man or woman. Water is life. It is the spirit breath rising from earth in the early morning, this autumn full moon harvest day, in the sacred glowing halo of fog, lifting our spirits up, singing upon our path. Follow the beauty way, follow the beauty way, follow the black earth, follow the black earth, follow the beauty way, follow the black earth. Hoka hey, aho. That's a ceremony of water is life. It's deeper than any generation. It's intergenerational and regenerational. This is a flow from that water is life. Forgoing self, the universe grows I. Throw all your possessions under the street of DRAM. Divinized light of a forgiving mind shines in here. Deep down in the mind, breathe, dear friend, renew the archipelago of dreams. The archipelago of dreams lives in here. Unearth this, dear friend. Temple bearers, bring forth the light. I am completely broken, down into sinew, shoulders and feet. Each deeply earned pain do I greet. Breathe anew, dear friend. This is remembering mind. Amidst all this grist, down in the flood, I am food for you. Renew. Enantio Dromnia for the inner you. Turn around, renew, dear friend, the dromenon of your mystery. Come up from the underground. Break up the summer clouds. Compost this before any man, before every man. Shoulder the comfort of a friend. No disguise. Shine your skies in radiance, dear friend. Your best daydreams are alive, shining in your smile. Made people find their knowing. Before the clans they understand. This is a moiety way down deep. Before time, hidden in the mind. For your find out, if you find out. If you make the trek to deep down here, underneath fear, where your love is wandering in wonder, glistening in the diamond-drenched rubies of deep understanding, where you can learn what you earn, where standing under is your care for a friend, where standing under is your care for a friend, is your care for the least of these, where their care for you is in radiance eyes as you both roll away the morning dew. This is underneath your climb before time began, before time entered your mind as a self-existent form of no form, no mind. This is before and after your climb on Chronos, the wheel of illusion of Maya. This is where you set aside mind and self, glowing and growing into something deeper. Ah, the universe singing I. Ah, the universe singing I. Ah, the universe singing I. I and I, Rastafari. That's a beautiful piece. So in this seasonal wheel, we are looking at the astrological wheel as well, and this well of understanding, this chalice well that we're holding in this golden lit alchemist throne of the philosopher's stone in our inner being. And in this autumn equinox, the goddess weaves her magic through the seasons, endlessly aging and growing young. She gives birth to the wild force of nature. She gives birth to the wild force of nature, unleashing her mighty child to grow and decay, sacrificing her progeny time and again into the vast dark, feeling and feeding the power of life. Ah, time to look at what we have birthed into being this year. What did we bring forth that totally awakened our desire? What of our own creations did we so fall in love with that we married it down into the marrow of our bones? What of our own creations did we so fall in love with that we married it down into the marrow of our bones? What now are we getting ready to take with us into the dark as we go into the autumn time? Autumn is a time of decision, of gathering in, the harvest season, gathering in, of choosing what to keep and what to let go. It's that time, it's the sifting time. Fall now into our heart of hearts. Fall now into our heart of hearts. Dive now into the deep end of the pool of ourselves. Dive now into the deep end of the pool of ourselves. Let go now of the above ground. Let go now of the above ground. Burrow now into our dream cave. Burrow now into our dream cave, taking with us the final harvest, the essential peace that will nourish the root of our being and bring us through to our next life. Burrow now into our dream cave, taking with us the final harvest, the essential peace that will nourish the root of our being and bring us through to our next life. Ah, fall equinox. We sit in the seasonal wheel of time as we go into what's called the looks within place. That is, in the autumn, the looks within place is known as introspection. And that is on the seasonal wheel. That is the cave. That is the bear. That is the choose your favorite bear. The black bear, the brown bear, the Alaskan Kodiak bear, the grizzly bear, the polar bear. Choose your favorite bear. Could be the panda bear. Could be your teddy bear. But choose your favorite bear, because that's the bear that you're going to go into the cave with. That's in autumn. The bears go into the cave. So that's a season going inward, introspection. It's in the west. And if you look at the seasonal wheel, the north, the south, east, and west, the west is where the sun sets. That's the autumn on the seasonal wheel. That's the going in. The sun is setting, so the bear is beginning to prepare to go into hibernia, which is called hibernation. The bear is preparing to go into hibernation, which is a beautiful time. And as that bear goes into hibernation, also the ionosphere opens up. So we begin to see deeper into deep space. call it Deep Space Nine, but we begin to see in deeper into deep space, a deeper space within and without. We see deeper into the night sky, the starry night. That's the ion, the ionosphere. And as the Great Bear, which is the Great Dipper, major arcana, Canis Major, the Great Bear space. That is the one of the major constellations in the summer night sky, and the Little Dipper is known as the Little Bear. The Big Dipper is Canis Major, and then Canis Minor, which is the Little Dipper. That's the Little Bear. And if you take the pointer points of the Big Dipper, and they point directly up to a star called Polaris, which is known as the North Star. And the Little Dipper is harder to see, but there's a twinkle in that eye as well. Twinkle in the night sky. And that little star traversed from afar is the childhood within, the magical child of every person. So may you delight in looking at the starry night, especially through the lens of such a beautiful genius as Stephen and the great artist of Saint Stephen. Just call him that. We all know who he is. Van Gogh, Vincent Van Gogh, the Great Starry Night. If you look at a NASA photograph of the Starry Night recently, what they've done is they've taken Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night and they've hidden different spirals and different galaxies and different novas and just beautiful events. If you can go look up that Starry Night, Vincent Van Gogh from the APOD, which is the NASA picture of the day, the aeronautics picture of the day. Just go APOD Vincent Starry Nights and see this painting, and they've got hidden in there in this mural. They've kind of like a mosaic, as they've taken it and hidden all kinds of really cool stuff. So you'll have fun looking at a beautiful art plus the beautiful universe as it's unfolding and spinning on the seasonal wheel. So we're opening up this vast kind of inner Hubble telescope within our own mind's eye, our third eye mind's eye. That's a tetrahedral shift there. If you want to get into geodesic Bucky Fuller, you could just imagine these little tetrahedrons called buckyballs only opening up this critical mass, only known as energy fields, across this omniverse and into multiverses. And if you want to get into cosmic string theory, just imagine that you're playing a vast cosmic symphony with new notations that are tetrahedrally connected, which is the golden mean. And that is the music of the spheres, which goes way back to the Pythagorean geometrics, which is sacred geometry, which is called the golden mean, and it's used in pi. It's also used in psi, but all the sacred geometry, if you look at the cathedrals of Europe, or even in America, different sacred geometries, you'll find the same golden mean throughout all of these. The ratios are the same. And it's actually music. So musicians can understand that when their heart's open. Like if you really like Mozart a lot, well, that's a lot of fun. And so any beautiful musician is good to go. If you really like great musicians, try out the Grateful Dead. They're just triadically noted to do cosmic transport for thousands of people and about everything they ever did. There's triadic notes of Jerry Garcia figured this out. He was traveling with that golden note structure in his guitar music as triadic note structures of the golden mean. We'll cover a little bit of that just briefly before. So we'll let a little Jerry, the Grateful Dead. So there was a song about that. It was the Egyptian Book of the Dead had this little note in there. When the chariot of the night sky, when the chariot of the night sky is drawn across the midnight sun, it will be drawn by the Grateful Dead. When the chariot of the sky is drawn across the midnight sun, it will be drawn by the Grateful Dead. That's a note, a triadic note structure that goes deep into geosophy and Egyptian mystery. And you could call it sacred geometry. And not everything is evil that's Egyptian, like you hear in these in the religions that are all based on Islam, Christian, and Hebrew. Those are the Abrahamic religions. Well, according to the Abrahamic religions, everything in Egypt was evil and a curse of God. Well, it's not necessarily true. The hand of man is not touched, and it has not touched the divinized light through that particular set of notations. There are other scriptures in the planetary harmonic of things. And one is the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And there's not all evil there. And the Book of Thoth, or Hermes Trismegistes, or the Divine Pymander. Look at some of those. At least take a look at them. We have been poisoned in our early times by this thing called sin, shame, and evil. And if it didn't conform to the Abrahamic religions, no matter which Western religion, then it had to be evil. So first one to go down that road and be consigned to the dustbin of time would be any Egyptian culture. Well, it's not necessarily true, and the Grateful Dead figured that out. So a lot of the alchemists, and don't forget, this is just, you got to have humor here as well. Use a little wriggle in your room, with a little wiggle with your wriggle in your room, so we can have wiggle room, so we can laugh a little bit. So, like every mystic is a peeping Tom. Every mystic is a peeping Tom, has to look into that window that's verboten. Well, you got to look into that Egyptian runnel and tunnel and pyramid of time. The pyramid, which is a tetrahedron in itself, it means fire in the middle of your mind. That's a different inner being. That's Oriental Occidental. There's this template where the pyramids there are on this gravitational field grid for the entire Earth. That's just one place, but it is a geomagnetic field of gravitas and levitas. Gravitational and levitational, which would be electromagnetic. So we're talking about higher geometry, sacred geometry here. So you can't figure it out with mechanical minds, cannot figure out how they put that together. It's a higher geomagnetic fields that work here. And they weren't the engineers that you're looking at in every grad school. They have nothing, they have no clue. And they never will, because they're locked inside a machine mind, a gravity mind. Their minds are sucked down into positive reductionist thinking. They cannot perceive that they might have done it a whole different way, and they lived in a golden age way beyond ours, and they maybe traveled the stars and had their being in different temples of different planets and different star systems that our friend who painted the Starry Night, Vincent, knew all about. All right. So we did the fall equinox, and there's a piece that was written just today. Again, we're just referring back into what's happening on this particular day, and we're doing this seasonal wheel round and a celebrational. This is a round and a shout, and those who in ethnomusicology know what that reference is. This is World Peace Day for Wombly. Wombly is the name for eagle. There's a peace pole at the Iowa City Public Library. There's a peace pole at the Cedar Falls Mennonite Church near downtown Cedar Falls. There was a peace pole planted on this very day 2 years ago, autumnal equinox, Mount Mercy College on the highest hill in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That's where the peace pole was planted in honor of Sister Ann Fiala. And might I say that this is a prayer, and this program, this seasonal wheel is dedicated to the 2 nuns who were brutally killed serving the poor down in Mississippi. A most horrendous act, and these 2 nuns are definitely martyrs. And this peace pole and these prayers within that peace pole, the within, may the perpetual light shine upon you. May you rest in eternal peace. And may all your wonderful works be remembered and revered, as you are indeed two martyrs who gave all of your lives in the care, your tender, loving care for the poor people. And O Caritas. So there's a peace pool at West Branch just down the hill, which is at Scattergood School, which was planted just this year in early July by the Great Peace Marchers who had their 30th reunion at Scattergood, and we planted that peace pole there. There's a peace pole in Bangor, Maine, which was planted in 1987 right near Lake Michigan. And these peace poles are made by a couple in Maple City, Michigan, and now East Jordan, Michigan. Yes, the Jordan Aquifer runs right through Musquawawa. And these are made by that couple, and each one says, "May peace prevail upon earth," in 4 languages for the 4 different directions. And in recent times, they're the paw prints of the animals, of the fauna, and on another direction, it has the different plants, the indigenous plants of that particular ecosystem, flora, as may peace prevail upon earth. In the paw prints of different animals of that ecosystem, and then also the different plants, the indigenous wildflowers of that ecosystem, the flora and fauna, may peace prevail upon earth. And all of this was given to a monk in a vision, a Japanese Buddhist monk in a vision, in the 1970s. He had a vision. And this vision, and it said, "May peace prevail upon earth," and have these peace poles. And so the monks came up with this mantra called Om Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which is started with the Hiroshima peace flame. No more nuclear weapons, no more nuclear bombs, no more hibakusha on planet Earth, no more nuclear power, no more nuclear anything. Om Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And there was a Hiroshima peace flame, which was to memorialize it forever, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, August 6th and August 9th, 1945. And now there have been over 100,000 peace poles planted in cities, villages, and hamlets throughout the entire planet. So on this peace day, the World Peace Day, may peace prevail upon earth as a living monument, memorial, spinning on the seasonal wheel of the autumnal equinox at the United Nations, and in all these peace poles planted at churches, schools, libraries, city parks throughout the entire planet. This monk's vision is now taking hold within and holding the field of this biopsychic field of peace and all these energies of peace in 100,000 cities, which is beginning to become 144,000 spinning rainbow dreamer peace wheels. And each one of these peace poles is not just a peace pole, it's an enlightenment rod for that ecosystem and that bio region that it is planted within. It is a living biopsychic field. So for all of this, we dedicate all of these songs of peace. And in these 4 loves, unconditional, yielding, eros, agape, amor, and these right actions, we make no assumption and we don't take things personally. So that is the beauty way. And that water is life is essential to the understanding of may peace prevail upon earth. That is the first teaching. And in this way, we begin to learn and earn our way. And we sing Om Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And on this September 1st this is the United Nations World Peace Day. But there's another gathering of another United Nations. And there are over 200 native nations from all over North America, as far away as Peru and the Inca and South and Central America. And they're gathering from all over the Americas and other continents. And they're having what may be seen as a summit meeting of the UN, of a United Nations of their own council fire up at Standing Rock, up there in North Dakota, Missouri River, where there's a heart song beating a planet drum on Turtle Island, which is North America, and they're singing Water is Life. So that is the simple understanding. Water is life. And again, we have talked about Iowa and Sandusky, and it goes all the way down through Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri. And water is life. And with that understanding, we begin to understand what world peace is. And so, just take a moment for that reflection. I am not alone. I am part of the worldwide community. And it is up to me and us and all of us to create peace and spread love and kindness. We look for ways to make a difference in our home, our community, and our environment. And we take every opportunity to show compassion and understanding. These actions have a direct impact on those around us and in the world. The love of the divine within is a guide in all that we do. And we are passing along positive thoughts, and these positive thoughts and actions creates a ripple effect like upon still waters that expands and encompasses the entire world. And these deeds will eventually come full circle to bless us and our world in a multitude of ways. And as we continue to practice this love and kindness and express peace and love, the harmonious actions will inspire peace among others. And so these are the harmonious actions of this World Day of Peace. And this is the true harvest of the harvest moon. And this is where we can let our hearts shine in a heart song that is surrounding the entire planet. And as the entire planet has that heart song shining, we will take a look at a form of a lady, and this will be the final part of our piece here. No, we'll do something else. We'll do something that's a little song. It's a little song. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed nor wind to blow. Reach out your hands if your cup be empty. If your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of man. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone, between the dawn and the dark of night. So we're between the dawn and the dark of night. Happy and delight in this harvest moon. May you harvest plenty and full. Peace.